Hello Stampers. Sorry about that. Technology, we gotta love it. Hopefully this is gonna work much better and we'll actually have a live connection. I didn't have a connection before, so I couldn't see if anybody was on the live feed or not. So I apologize for having to come back on and log off. I actually had to shut my phone off and start all back over. So hopefully we're good now. It looks like we are. And we can get started. So I will start back over. I would like to welcome anyone who has already visited my Facebook Live. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you'll join us every week, Wednesday at 4:00 p.m. with a new live demonstration. This week, we have a really fun thing to celebrate, and that is the brand new Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. And there are lots of fun items in here. There are several different new designer papers, glitter paper, punches, framelits, new embellishments for us to use, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with you today. I just have a quick announcement about, before I forget, the next paper pumpkin kit. If you're not familiar with paper pumpkin, I'll explain that in just a minute. The next paper pumpkin kit is going to be Halloween. The deadline to order that is September 10th. So if you are interested in getting that kit sent to you, go to my website and sign up before September 10th. Now, what a paper pumpkin kit is if you're not familiar, every month Stampin' Up! Does a box and they'll send you the stamps, ink, and the paper supplies to create projects. And next month just happens to be Halloween. Sometimes there are everyday occasion cards. Around the holidays, they may be Christmas or Thanksgiving, sometimes Valentine's. It just depends on what the occasion is. If you sign up and you are thinking, oh, I don't want Valentine's cards or one of the cards, if you're going to be out of town, you know you don't have time, you can always put a hold on that account. But if you sign up, you always have that option to put a hold on it so you don't have to receive it if you're not going to be available to put it together. So if you would, leave me a comment. I see I have a couple people already watching. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Carol. And we're going to be doing 3 different stamp sets today, actually 4. Normally I would focus on just one stamp set, but today I wanted to use several of my favorites from the holiday catalog so that you could kind of get a sneak peek of what we're dealing with. That I know for me, I like to see it to believe it, to really see it in the catalog or online is a little different. As always, if you use the hostess code and you place an order of $30 or more, I am going to send you these 3 cards, not just the make and take for them. I'm going to send you the 3 cards because it's using so much different product this week that I'll actually send out the cards. I'm going to give you the hostess code and I'll give you the link in just a minute of where you need to go to place that order. So I'm also going to be doing, just to let you know, a product share. And what a product share is, what I'm going to be sharing is all of the designer papers out of the catalog. You will receive a 6x6 square of all of the designer papers from the catalog, and I will have details up in my business group very soon about that. I'm in the process of moving, so things are a little slower with the catalog kickoff than I would like, but we'll get there. So if you haven't had a chance to see the catalog, like I said, it is live up on Stampin' Up's website today, and you can get to that through stampitwithdebbie.stampinup.net. And I'm just going to flip through very quickly for you to see some of the items inside. It's a great catalog with lots of fun things. Of course, the snowman, I think, has to be probably my favorite stamp. I just have a soft spot for snowmen. So I'm going to bring my hostess code and where you can go to place your order here while I get the supplies for the make and take cards today. And I think the first one, we'll put these aside, and the first one that we're going to do is the Santa Claus one. And this stamp set has coordinating, it has a whole suite. This is the stamp set. It's got a Mr. and Mrs. Claus, a couple elves, packages, a little wagon, the North Pole. This says do not open till Christmas. It has, like I said, coordinating designer paper called Santa's Workshop. And then it also has coordinating thinlits or framelit dies called Santa's Signpost. So today we're going to be using all three of those items. So I'm just going to get the items that I need here. And I'm going to put this out of the way for just a minute. What you're going to need today is a piece of, this is called Poppy Parade. Stampin' Up! Did not use real red. I really like this. It reminds me of kind of a retro red. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You'll also need a piece of Whisper White cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I did already emboss this with the brand new Swirls and Curls embossing folder. Hopefully you can see that, or you can see the detail in it. This is a great embossing folder. I think it can be used year-round, not just for Christmas. So I did already emboss that so we could have that done. You're going to need a piece of designer paper cut to 2 inches by 5 1/4. You're going to need a piece of black cardstock cut to 3 inches by 3 inches. A piece of white cardstock cut to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And then just a scrap of white cardstock. So I'm going to get the stamp set. Oops, it was hiding. And I'm going to get the stamps that I need out of here. And we're going to need Santa Claus, of course, and the North Pole. And we want the word North Pole as well. And then we have a little words wishing you everything on your list. So those are the, should have brought my piercing mat, but I forgot it, so hopefully this is going to work out okay. I do normally recommend using your piercing mat when you're stamping, just so that it gives you a little more denseness and you get a good coverage from your stamp. Now I'm going to take the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And I'm going to stamp, I'm trying to make sure his belt has enough ink on it. I'm going to stamp Santa Claus right on here. There we go. And then we just need to put our greeting. Whoops, sorry about that. I thought that I lost my feed. I'm having all kinds of trouble today. All right, I'm going to stamp my wishing you. And I think I'm going to have to take this off camera, or I'm going to get it crooked. There's that. And then just one more thing to stamp, and that is North Pole on our North Pole. Okay, so I think we're all done stamping. And then you're just going to need a couple of the blender pens. I'm going to use the Poppy Parade. I'm also going to use the Mango Melody I'm going to use the light crumb cake, and I'm also going to use the smoky slate. And we're just gonna color. If you don't have the blender pens, I will tell you that I'm a colorer. I don't like to see lines when I color, and that's what the blender pens do, is they don't leave a lot of lines, so I really like that. Oh, and I just realized I did not bring, I was gonna bring a pen to color his skin, and I did not bring that over here. So I will have to color that in later. One thing with the blender pens is you are going to want to be careful because they are alcohol based, so they will leak through your paper. That's to give them good blending ability. So just remember, if you're coloring, say, on an envelope or something, after you've already stamped the card, it will leak through. And I'm just gonna color, this is the nice list, this isn't the naughty list. There's no naughty list. I like to think everyone is on the nice list. Do you see my name right there? It's first. Okay. And then the only other thing we need to do, since I forgot the ink for Santa's face, is we're gonna color the, whoops, I got the wrong color, the North Pole. And I'm just gonna try to color it really fast. Don't look at the lines because I'm trying to color fast and I'm not right on top of it, so I'm having a hard time seeing. I do like how smooth these are. Also, the colors come in a light color and in a dark color so that you can blend them very easily. Just going to use the crumb cake to color in the wood from the sign. There is also a regular end and a brush tip, and let me show you that real quick. Here's the regular end, and then there's also a brush tip that makes it real easy for coloring big surfaces. Now we do need to push this aside because we're going to use our framelit to cut out the North Pole very quickly. And we'll just line that up, and I'm so proud I actually put my Big Shot on the table the right way. Usually I get the handle on that side and then I have a really hard time trying to put it through to roll it through to cut it. All right, so I'm done with that and I'm going to put it away so I don't lose it. And then we can start assembling. So we'll fold our piece of Poppy Parade in half and use our bone folder to burnish that. We're going to use our embossed piece of cardstock here. And I usually put a lot of adhesive once I emboss, and I have quite a few layers too. So we'll put that right on top of the card here. And then we're going to take the piece of designer paper, you can see the back of it real quickly, and we're going to put that onto the front of the card here. We can add our, and I'll be able to go back and color in the Santa's face afterwards because there's black underneath, but like I said, you can see how there's some bleeding from the blender pens, but they do blend wonderfully and I love them. So we'll go ahead and put some adhesive on here and attach that. And then we're going to use some of the new textured weave ribbon, and that is in Poppy Parade to coordinate with this suite. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot real quickly. And I like to cut a little kind of a pointed banner edge, just to make it look nice and neat. And we're going to use a glue dot to adhere that. And we'll just put it right up in the corner. Whoop, I think I need another one. Let me grab another glue dot so it lays down there. And then I have the North Pole. And I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on the back of that. And that card is all done. And we'll set that one aside and we'll move on to the next one. I'm going to bring back the hostess code so that you can see it. And I'm going to grab the next card. We're going to do the snowman card next. This one here. And what we need for this one is the pool party cardstock, cut to 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You're also going to need a piece of pool party cut at 4 by 5 1/4. That's this piece. You're going to need a piece of Poppy Parade cut at 5 1/4 by 3, and a piece of white cut at 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. So I think that we should start with the Buffalo Check stamp set. And this might be one of my other favorite stamp sets. I just like the design that it gives in the background, and every single color makes your card look totally different. So I'm going to show you how to use this one because it's a pretty big stamp. We do have a block that will cover this just fine. But how I like to use it is just to lay it flat. I don't mount it on a clear block at all. And I'm going to bring my ink pad right to it. Okay, and ink it up really well. And then you're going to bring your piece of cardstock right to the top of it. Make sure it's even because you can't bring it up. And then you're going to take a piece of scrap paper and go right over the top. And make sure that you get a smooth coverage on the whole thing. Kind of rub all over it. And then when you pull it off, there's your buffalo check. I'm going to set this aside so that I don't get ink all over because there's a lot of ink on that right now. And we'll set this piece aside real quickly. The next thing we're going to do is, let me get the stamp set, and this one is, again, Spirited Snowmen. It has some little snowmen hugging. Isn't that so cute? A snowman that's skating and one that's just kind of dancing. So we're going to use a couple different ones today. And let me get those on a block here. And then, of course, we need a little greeting. And we're going to stamp those with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'm just going to bring my ink to the ink pad, or to the stamp pad here. Go ahead and stamp him on there. And then I'm going to stamp this other guy on here. Well, actually, I think she's a girl because she has on pink ice skates today. All right, and she is on there, so I'm done with the black. And then I just need the Poppy Parade for the greeting in the middle. Oh, better make sure it's right side up. I did a test stamp off to the side. This one says, "Your friendship warms my heart." So we're all done stamping. Now, the colors that I used in my blender pens, I used the Flirty Flamingo, and I used, oh, let me get this one out here. I used Flirty Flamingo for the boots and the hat. I used Pool Party also for the hat. I used Poppy Parade for the red that's on there. I used the light Call Me Clover for this green here. Of course, Pumpkin Pie for their nose. The light Crumb Cake for their arms and their legs. And then I used the Smoky Slate. Oh, I didn't use Smoky Slate on this one. So those are the colors that I used. I'm not gonna make you sit and watch me color this whole thing. So through magic, ta-da, it's all colored. So we can go ahead and assemble our card. Again, I used all of the Stampin' Blends because I like the way that they give good coverage. Just remember that they will leak through, so you have to be very careful about that. And I have a favor while we're assembling this project. If you would, click the share button now. That just helps me to grow my business a little bit and to reach more people than I could if I just keep reaching the same people over and over. So I would greatly appreciate that. This week I'm going to be doing a drawing for a product out of the holiday catalog. So if you share, either share this or if you share the replay, I'm going to put your name in the drawing and you have a chance to win one of the prizes that I'll be giving away this week. So we're going to take the stamped image, we're just going to center it on there and leave a 1/4 inch on the top and the bottom. And then we do want to use quite a bit of adhesive because we're getting up in layers here. Sometimes I even use a stronger adhesive. And we're just going to center that right in the middle. We're then going to take a piece of the white baker's twine and we're going to, you can see here at the top, I'll bring that one around. We're going to just leave a little tail and then we want to wrap it around a couple times. Whoops, and cut some off there. And then we're going to tie a bow up here. And then I'm going to pull this just so it's more up at the top and cut the little tail off. Before I would send this out, I would make sure that that's kind of adjusted a little bit so that it looks really super cute. Isn't that so cute? The little snowmen. Okay, we have one more project. I'm going to leave you with the host code one more time while I gather the items for the last project. And that is going to be a spooky Halloween card. Okay, this one features the stamp set Trick or Tweet. And I showed you the card in the gorgeous grape along with a piece of the designer paper from the designer paper called Toil and Trouble. We're going to make this one just a little bit different. And again, here's the stamp set. Scare up a little fun. I'm going to set that aside. This one we're going to make in Mango Melody. It's kind of a different color for a Halloween card, but it's going to be super cute. You'll see. This piece is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to need a piece of black cardstock cut at 5.5 by 2, a piece of designer paper cut at 5.5 by 1 3/4, and then a piece of white cardstock cut at 4 inches by 2 inches. We're also going to need a little, this is kind of a scrap that I saved the ends of. This is a 1/2 inch long, and we're going to stamp our greeting onto that one. So let me get the stamp sets, or the stamps that we need here. And for this one, I think we'll use the Scare Up a Little Fun. I'm also going to grab my blender pens for this in Crumb Cake and Smoky Slate. I'm also using Dark Highland Heather and Pumpkin Pie and Black. So let's do the, we'll assemble this part first, I guess. So we're just going to put some adhesive on the front of the black, and we're going to attach that right in the center of our card. This is a piece of the Toil and Trouble. You can see there are bats on the back. This has some really fun stars in the mango, and looks like some yellow, and almost looks like Poppy to me, Poppy Parade. We're going to put that right in the center. Now we're going to do a little stamping with our Memento ink. We're going to stamp up our elephant over here on the left, and then the cat over here on the right, and then, oops, I forgot to get the pumpkin that the elephant is holding out. So we're going to get that out and kind of eyeball it there. And then one more for the greeting. And I'm going to pull this off camera, otherwise it will get really crooked. All right, there's the greeting. And we're done with our ink. I'm going to leave a little edge here so that I can cut a banner. And I want to show you a little trick about getting a banner. If you don't have a banner punch, you can still make a banner on anything. Just cut up the middle and then cut up from one side to meet into the middle where that banner, where you cut the center, and then cut up again. And that's going to give you a perfect banner every single time. All right, so let's color our little, I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper so it doesn't bleed through. So first of all, we'll color the cat nose and the cat ear. And again, that's Flirty Flamingo. We're going to color our cat in Chrome Cake. And it's kind of hard in this mummy wrapped up, or the cat wrapped up as a mummy, so I kind of guessed where I thought some little pieces of fur might be peeking out kind of in his tail. That's his leg. So I think that looks good. We want to use the black to color in the pumpkin. Don't look close because I'm trying to hurry. We want to color the pumpkin in with our pumpkin pie. And then we're going to color the cape and the mask using the Highland Heather. And I just love these new purple colors from Stampin' Up. Even before I saw the Halloween catalog, I knew this was going to be a great purple for Halloween. So I'm trying to be careful not to color his eyeballs in. I'm going to make her a her. I'm going to color in her toenails. with some purple because I think it's cute. And then last, we're going to color the elephant. And I just like to do a little bit of that. That's one thing that you can do with these blender pens is kind of use the darker color to create some lines to get some shading going on. So I'm just using the lighter one, and it will still come in a little bit darker because I'm going over that a couple times. So you can use the brush edge to color a little more quickly. I'm trying to go fast so that you don't have to watch me coloring all day. But the blender pens do make it very, very quick and very beautiful. But it just is good coloring with the blender pens. And they come in lots of different colors too. All right, so we're all done coloring. It's not perfect, but hey, it's on there. Now we can put some adhesive on the back of this piece. And I just staggered it off of that center just a little bit. And then we want to make a bow using the new glittered organdy ribbon. Can you see how sparkly it is? All they had to say to me is sparkles, and it wouldn't matter what color the ribbon is. I would be buying it. I love sparkles. I saw a shirt the other day that says, glitter is my favorite color, and that is so true. I love glitter everything. My team name, actually, my team of demonstrators underneath me, or not underneath me, but my team, I should say, we are called the Glitter Brigade. So we have a little bow here, and we're gonna put a glue dot on there, and we're gonna attach that. Now, I have just a quick question. When you use dimensionals, this is a brand new pack of dimensionals I'm gonna show you in just a second, but I thought about this the other day. When you open a brand new pack of dimensionals, do you take them carefully off the side first, or do you just go right in the center? Because I always go right in the center. It's kind of like how I would like to eat cake if no one was watching. Eat the center piece first. It's the best piece. I can't help it. My mom is on here watching, so hopefully I never did that as a kid, and she's now saying, oh yeah, that's why the center of the cake was always missing. I don't think I ever did that. I just wanted to, and I was always very delighted if I came to the cake from a celebration and realized that there was the center piece left. So those are our projects for this week. What do you think of them? Thumbs up, thumbs down. If you could just leave me a love them, you don't love them. Which one is your favorite? I would have to say the snowmen probably are one of my favorites for Christmas, but I definitely am a Halloween type of girl, and I will post some pictures later in the season when I can get home to Michigan and decorate my house, because we kind of go a little bit crazy. So again, if you place an order of $30 or more using the hostess code, and I'll just bring this back real quick, 7SDVUZ7B, at my online store at stampitwithdebbie.stampinup.net, I'm going to send you 3 of the cards that we made today. Also, if you share the replay or you share, yes, Patricia, snowmen do melt the heart. So if you share, I'm going to put your name into a drawing to win a prize, one of the stamp sets or something from the catalog. I haven't decided yet, but it will definitely be something from the catalog, and I'll let you know next week who is the winner. And I am so excited that you stopped by to see the new catalog. And if you go to the online store right now, if you just hit holiday catalog, it's going to bring up everything. There are samples in there. Over the next couple weeks, I'm going to be sharing a lot of samples with you, and I'm very excited for this catalog. I appreciate you stopping by and appreciate you watching and sharing the video, and I hope to see you again real soon. Have a great rest of your week.